Speaker, I yield 4 minutes to Mr. Siljander of Michigan, the ranking member of the African Subcommittee.
What if the sanctions do not work? What then? Where is the United States in terms of our ability to negotiate, to pressure, to bargain, to encourage change? We will have yielded it away completely. So in all compassion, I would just ask those, again, that are supporting this approach to answer those two basic questions. And may I, in closing, repeat those questions. One, how, specifically, not with emotionalism, but practical reality, will sanctions stop the apartheid in South Africa and stop the killing?
And as I understand, this all started from an incident at a national prayer breakfast where the Quran was read from, and you didn't like that.
No, I was a very strong, conservative, evangelical member of Congress. And when the ambassador, I think it was Saudi Arabia, read the Quran at the National Prayer Breakfast, I wrote a protest letter off immediately to the titular head and said, why in the world would you read a book of the devil at a Christian meeting like this? So he came to my office, and two questions he asked me, Marcus and Johnny, changed my whole life and direction of the life.
So what did he ask you?
Okay, well, the first question, he said, what is your strategy for Islam? And he said, okay, the second question, have you ever read the Quran? And of course, being a young, 29-year-old member of Congress, and a little bit full of myself, and perhaps too arrogant, I said, well, of course I did not read the Quran. Everything we had done and attempted to do was a failure. It was a failure. Looking back, the biggest pride I had is we armed rebels to fight communist tyrannical leaders. Or, conversely, we armed and empowered tyrannical leaders who were pro-West to fight communist guerrillas all over the world. Remember Charlie Wilson? How many of you saw Charlie Wilson's War? Well, guess who the Republican quiet counterpart for Charlie Wilson was to get Stinger missiles to the Afghanis, Mujahideen, who are now the Taliban that we're fighting today? Yours truly. So I'm reading the Quran, seeing these, not just the wonderful consistencies, but the seeming inconsistencies about Son of God, the Trinity, the deity of Jesus, these powerful, divisive issues that have caused crusades and inquisitions, that fuel militancy, radicalism, that fuel the hatred toward the West and toward America and toward Christians and Jews. These issues fuel the very thing we have spent, according to Harvard and Brown, and will have spent between 6 and 7 trillion to stop over the next few years. So to me, if we could find the key to common ground to some of these divisive issues, it could change the world. Mahalo. God bless you. And aloha. That led to a 25-year odyssey of 130 countries, almost all the Muslim countries, save a few, and talking to some of the top Muslim leaders, from the pacifists to the radicals, about the ideas and how to share, as Tim mentioned, Jesus in a new and powerful and dynamic way. And perhaps, God willing, inshallah, we can find that common ground, adiyya mushtaraka, even in the things heretofore we thought of each other as heretics over, we can now become brothers and sisters. Allah ma'akum. No. Wrong answer. Throw this guy out.
Thank you for just a second. I want you all to stand up and give him a hand for being here tonight.